Toastmaster of the day and my fellow delegates. Before starting my speech, I want to tell you something. That my mom and dad are not software engineers whatsoever. But 20 years ago, they somehow managed to create a special and a unique kind of software. And yes, a software is me. Since then, there has been many versions of me. Some were consecutively, while some were simultaneously. So if I remember my very first versions of me when I was in my primary school, in that era, I was extroverted and I had friends. I knew how to handle day-to-day activities. And to remember an interesting incident tell you how extroverted I am. I will come to why I'm emphasizing extroverted in this version. I will tell you in my next version. Because whenever there was a catch, when there was a ball throwing, there was a cricket match or an LA match. I was the one who brings the ball every time. So there was a kind of a recognition in that era for me. So that was the connector. I was the connector of my primary school friends. So after that version, I did my grade 5 scholarship examination, and then I came to a new school, and in that school, I don't know what happened to me, but I somehow in the initial months I was social. I was extroverted like in my previous school, but somehow I couldn't connect with others. I didn't know the reason. Maybe because I lacked the ability to reading social cues. Maybe I didn't understand much about the social norms or the culture in the school itself. So in that way, I kind of became the quietest person in the room, and it almost was there from the grade 6 to grade 11. I was the quietest kid. When others were going for the parties, or when there was a sport meet, or when there was other functions, or even when there was a funeral of a teacher, others were going, but I didn't go. And I think I have missed something. I have missed a lot, I guess, because I should have tried, or I should have guide. If I did have a guidance, maybe I could have developed in that era as well. But somehow I was the quietest person, and it took me a while. This is why I'm telling you that I was in my primary school version. I was the extrovert, but in the new school I was kind of an introvert. So that was my quiet version. That was, I would say, quiet version. So, in that school, I was obsessive. Now I'm going to my astronomy version. Okay, like many other kids in that era, kids were pressured to become a doctor or engineer, right? So I don't know how I was influenced to become an astronomer at NASA, but somehow I was so crazy about becoming an astronaut in that, in working NASA. I wanted to become a working astronomer in NASA. So I joined the astronomy club in our school, and there was an A-level student. He was one of our seniors. He was lecturing us, he was delivering his expertise, and he was telling amazing stories for us. So he piqued our interest in this astronomy. And I was also so interested to hear his perspectives, his space experiences as well. So that was somehow I also went to the Olympiad astronomy exam as well, but I didn't get a very good satisfying result. I got an C, I guess. So that version also kind of faded after 6 months. So that is that version. So after all else, I want to say that it's a very interesting, very defining phase in my life. That was my rationalist version. Rationalist version, I mean, because in the year 2019, there was a very controversial incident happened in 2009. You all guys know that there was a Easter Sunday bomb attack, right? In that particular incident led me to a very very sensitive questioning. I would say I don't want to offend anyone. I mean, people from different religious background, but it led me to one question that is, why this omnipresent God couldn't stop such a tragic incident if he could have power? That very question led me to be very inquisitive, very to dig deep into this. I was searching a lot of stuff. I was analyzing. I was seeking different perspectives from comparative religions to that was the era I knew that there was something called as Sri Lankan Rationalist Association by Mr. Abraham, that was founded by Mr. Abraham Cole. I was so fascinated by it, and there was a book actually called by, I think, it's an attorney at law, Laksh, cannot remember his name now, but somehow it was I was very cynical as well in that era. So, but I knew that was a very extreme version. If I go this way, I couldn't be normal like others. So, I decided to come to a middle ground. That means, I was very skeptical as well in that era. So I came to a very middle path, that is a secular Buddhism. I'm a Buddhism from my background, I'm coming from a Buddhist background. So I came to secular Buddhism, I became secular Buddhism. So that is my, one of my versions. And now you know, there were many interesting versions in my life, right? Some were forgotten, some are still emerging and sinking within me. And my future, I will have very different versions as well. I don't know. There might be my future or the creator, or my fate might have decided so many things. But I think it's better to live well today and let the time do its magic. Thank you.